Welcome to Everything Life and Real Estate. Let's get started with our hosts, Linda McKissick and Dana Gentry.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Everything Life and Real Estate. I'm Linda McKissick.
And I'm Dana Gentry.
So, Dana, I'm super excited today. We just finished our top 100 agent mastermind, had a great turnout and some great panelists.
Yep, it was a big day, sold out event, so that was good. And lots of people listening to the podcast, which is great.
Yes, lots of people came up and said, we love y'all's podcast. And they're really going to love it after today because we have an amazing guest. Her name is Chantel Ray. And Chantel, we'd love for you to say hi and tell everybody a little bit about you. They kind of already know you because I brag about you all the time on the podcast. So just like I do with Dan Sullivan, they're going to get to know him too. But tell them a little bit about you and your business and then kind of what you got going on in your life.
Yeah, so I'm kind of a little bit of a serial entrepreneur, and I started out in real estate. I just started out as a single agent, and then I realized very quickly that I did not like driving buyers around, and I stopped liking going on listing appointments. So I very quickly decided, okay, I've got to build a team. And so I built a team. We grew to about maybe 60 to 80 team members on our team. And then I decided it's time for me to start my own brokerage. So then I opened up my own brokerage, Chantel Ray Real Estate. And now we are at about 180 real estate agents and about 25 administrative people, web people, and stuff like that. Is about the size of our team.
Awesome. So how long, what time frame was all this? How long have you been in real estate from beginning to where you are now?
So I think it's been, I got my real estate license in 2005. So I guess it's been like 15 years.
Wow. It goes fast, doesn't it? So what'd you do before real estate?
I actually was a math teacher. I have my degree in mathematics and a teaching certificate. And then I decided to get into ministry, and I was a children's pastor for 2 years. And then I was a youth pastor for 2 years. And then I decided to go full time into real estate.
Awesome. Did you know somebody in real estate, or what did it just look good from the outside looking in?
Everyone was just like, you should go into real estate. You'd be really good at it. And I just decided to do it. I think I sold over 50 houses my very first year, and I was rookie of the year for all real estate agents in Hampton Roads of selling the most houses.
Awesome. I love that. And one of the things, Dana and I both saw you when you were on the panel at Mega Camp a few years ago with Keller Williams. And one of the things we both remembered well about you is some of the cool things you do with people out into the other businesses,
business to business,
and then also your clients. And Dana had even remembered something about you renting out your conference room.
I know. I said to Linda, I think the one thing I remembered from seeing her on stage that I loved was she came up with the idea to rent her conference room out inside of her office to local businesses or to people in her area. And then that was I just thought that was the greatest idea. Didn't you do that?
Yeah. So we have a Chick-fil-A that's right by our house. Right by one of our offices. And one of the people said, hey, can we borrow your office one day? We'll pay you, but we need to borrow your office. And we said, no, you don't need to pay us. Use our conference room anytime. They now use our conference room every single week because what they said was, when they're at Chick-fil-A, imagine every time they're trying to do a management meeting, someone's like, we're low on ketchup. Does anyone know where it is? Or, just different things. And they constantly are getting distracted. And so they were like, man, this is amazing because our conference room has, the dry erase boards and a chalkboard and a PowerPoint and computer and projector. And, they get to kind of collaborate. And so they get to use it. They actually use it every single week. And they bring us a tray of nuggets every week, this huge tray of nuggets. And it's like a thank you gift. So everyone's like, yay.
That's a good trade.
Yeah. And they actually bought a house with us, a $400,000 home with us. And, the team members are buying houses from us. And so we've just built this great relationship, and we've just done it with different people. We actually say, I'll send you a video that you can put in the show notes. Remind me to do that.
Okay.
And we'll show the video of what we do, because we have a helium tank because we need balloons for all of our open houses. So we say, do you have a child that needs balloons for their for your kid's birthday, come on in, you can get free balloons anytime. Because we need the balloons anyway for all the agents for open houses. Why not give it away as a free usage? We tell people, you know, you can use our fax machine, use our copier for free. Like, instead of going to FedEx or going to Kinko's, just come to our office, make copies for free. And we don't have tons of people who do it, but the people who do are like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. And like I said, they just kind of feel indebted to using us when it's time for them to come buy or sell a home.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that's such a great idea.
Yeah. So one thing I remembered also is you kind of do something where you feature a business on Facebook. Do you still do that? And I've kind of sent somebody to your site.
Yeah. So if you go to chantelray.com/business highlights, you can see a bunch of the ones that we do there. But one of the things that's really important is you can do those so easily on your, you know, on your iPhone, and you just get someone to do it. And like one of the other people that work there, you can get them to film it. And basically the idea is you just say, hey guys, it's Susie with Chantel Ray Real Estate. And today we are spotlighting this special business. We're specializing, you know, Labella Hair Salon. And now, Susie, tell us a little bit about Labella Hair Salon. But you can see all the different ones that we do on there. And we had one that had over 1 million views. I think it was like for Jump, because the CEO of, it wasn't Jump, it was something like Jump. You know what I'm saying? Like one of those, but I can't remember the name of it. And the CEO was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I want everyone to share this post that works at that company. And so he sent out a company-wide email, and so everyone shared it. And I can't remember, it was like 500 shares, but then think about how many that reached.
Yeah.
And so it quickly reached over 1 million people all across the country from that one video highlight, which didn't cost us any money at all. And the business highlight takes 3 minutes, and you just have to remember to do it to every place you go. So the conversation looks something like this. You go into, like I just did it, I went to a place where we have a North End Juice Bar, and the owner was there, and I was like, I just love this place so much. And he's like, oh, thanks. I'm like, are you the owner? He's like, yeah. I said, we'd love to do a free business highlight for you. It doesn't cost you anything. We can do it right now. It'll take 3 minutes or less. And I'll just ask you to tell us what makes North End Juice Bar different, and why should people come here? And so then I ask him that question on video. You don't really have to do any editing or anything to it. And you just post it on Facebook and you tag him. And then you say, now, would you do me a favor? Would you ask your friends and also your coworkers to share this post? And they do. And so it's just a really easy way for you to say, okay, I'm going to take 3 minutes of my time. I'm going to do it every place I go, and it's a great marketing tactic.
Yeah, I love it.
And then at the end, you just say, then do you want your business highlighted? I'd love to come do a free business highlight for you. And then people will reach out to you for you to do a business highlight.
I love it.
Yeah, I think that's so awesome. So you said 15 years, right? About since you've been in the business, 15 years from start to...
Yes.
So what do you... I'm just totally intrigued because, quite frankly, I've been in the business 15 years too, and I have not had that. Your team, like, it's just amazing. What you've done is so great. So what do you think's been the biggest factor in that? Like, what's made you different, and how have you had that much success in 15 years in the business?
Well, I would say that there's two things. Number one, the Bible says that the more you give to God, the more he gives back to you. And I made a commitment when I was in my 20s that I started out tithing, and I started giving 10% of my income back to God. And then I increased it 3% every year. And I was actually on CBN twice to kind of share the story, and I'll send you that video so you can add it to the show notes for people who want to see it. But now I currently give 90% of my income away, and I live on 10% of my income.
Wow.
And so, when you are able to do that, it's just God just rewards you for that. And there's only one time in the Bible that God says, test me in this. And it's when he's talking about tithing in Malachi. And he said, test me in this and see if I won't throw open the storehouses for you. And so I believe that's number one. So I always want to give God all the honor and all the glory and all the credit. But the second reason is the systems and the processes we have in place. And I decided to actually share these with people. I'm doing a resort. I'm going to pick 10 people. I'm going to pick 10 real estate agents that say, I want to build my own business and I want to create the systems to show me how to scale and grow. And I'm going to pick 10 people to go on a 5-star wellness resort in Miami. We're going to go for 4 days and 3 nights. And I'm going to literally open my book of everything we've done. And I'm going to give every person every Word doc we've done. I'm going to show you everything to do. Because if you have the systems in place, you will grow. If you do not have the systems in place, you will not grow. And I'll tell you, we have one guy who works for us right now, and he's always trying to buck the system. And the way that we used to do it, we've still been able to grow because we've held pretty good systems. But one thing that will really hold you back is that it's called decision fatigue, right?
Mm-hmm.
So decision fatigue is when you are constantly making decisions and you just are drained at the end of the day. There's a great story of these people that they tested people who wanted to do parole. And so what they said was, they were like, okay, all these people came to them for parole. And they said, like, I can't remember the statistics, but it was something like 70% of the people who saw the people before 1 o'clock, they got parole. After 1 o'clock, it was like 10% of the people, something like that. And it was because the people had decision fatigue, right? Like they were like, I'm just so tired of hearing all these different stories. No, the answer is no. And so when you have systems in place, you just refer everyone back to the policy. When you don't have systems in place, now you're like, oh, well, what should we do about this? Okay, now let's all hold a meeting and decide what we're going to do and how are we going to do it. And you can't do that, right? Like you literally cannot do that every time. So you have to just keep going back and referring people to the policy. Okay. But it takes time to develop the systems and the policies. And that's the only way you're going to grow. And so I just decided I want to really make an impact. And a lot of these people spend all this money on conferences. They get all jazzed up and then they come back and they don't implement a dang thing because it takes so much work. What I'm doing is I'm saying, look, you're going to have it 90% already done. Here's mine. Now just put your name on it and tweak a few things to make it how you want it to be. And that's why franchises work so well, because you aren't making all these decisions. They send you the food, you develop it, the policies are already created, they're there for you. And that's why 9 out of 10 businesses succeed. 9 out of 10 businesses fail, while 9 out of 10 franchises succeed. Why? It's because of the systems and processes they have in place. And that's why I'm so passionate about building those systems and processes. And that's just something God's gifted me at. Like my girlfriends always call me a system savant. They're like, you are a savant with systems. Because if I have to do something more than one time, there's a system for it. Like I don't want to repeat myself. So it's like, okay, well, here's the system. How are we going to systematize this? And that takes a lot of time to develop them. But if you're in real estate, like I would suggest you do not pass go, do not collect $200. Go with me on a 4-day trip to Miami. And I promise you, your business is going to grow.
Great.
Are you going to tell us how we can learn more about that?
Yeah, so we can share it.
Yeah, absolutely. I will I'll put it in the show notes. I'll send you a link with a video describing it and the link to how you can get there.
So I'm curious, so you don't list and sell at all anymore? Yours is what we would call at Keller Williams 7th level, and it's been running without you, right? And then do you have a team leader or someone who oversees the other agents in your office, or is all the agents on your team? Because Dana and I both own offices also, but we have books of business that are run by other people, and then there's agents in the office that sell. What's your setup like?
So every one of our office is set up like a brokerage, but it's also set up as a team because we give out leads and appointments. So if you think about the difference between a team and a brokerage, it's really one thing, right? Is that you're getting leads and appointments. And that's why we've said, look, you can join our brokerage. And I would say 50% of the people just say, I don't want any of your leads. I can generate my own business. I just want to be with your company and your brokerage because of what you have to offer. And the systems, because we don't charge any office fees. We give them all the tools they need to succeed, and we don't charge them any fees for it. So there's half the people who say, I just want the systems you've built to make my life easier. And then half of them say, yeah, I want the systems, but I also want the leads and the appointments. And so we basically have the best of both worlds.
Gotcha. So one of the things that I don't even know if I found you this way first. I sell the world on intermittent fasting. I love intermittent fasting, and I know you're a big faster. I love your faith. I love your fasting. And I love your, multifaceted entrepreneurship, because Dana and I are both that way also. We want a million things going at one time. And so talk to us a little bit about, your fasting, and how did you, I've kind of heard your story a little bit, but how did you wind up being someone who's so passionate about intermittent fasting?
So I, unfortunately, for the last 20 years, have been on every single diet known to man. And so I have lost 15 pounds, gained 20 pounds, lost 10 pounds, gained 5 pounds, just back and forth and roller coaster. And then I finally just decided, okay, if I want to be thin, I need to interview people who've been thin their entire life, and that I wanted to be able to lose weight without giving up my favorite foods. And so I would see all these girls who were thin, and they'd be eating a burger and having pizza, and I'd be like, what? They're not counting calories. They're not doing meal plans, but they're thin. And so I literally started videoing them. And so I created a video course called basically Thin Eater Habits. And what I found was that these women, none of them said I do intermittent fasting, right? But I just said, well, like, when do you start eating lunch? They're like, or I'd say, what do you eat for breakfast? And they would be like, I just don't eat breakfast. I'm not hungry in the morning. I probably don't start eating till 12 or 1. And so after I was interviewing each girl, I was like, oh my gosh, none of these people eat breakfast. Or they were like, I just eat breakfast and then I eat lunch and then I just don't really eat dinner. Basically, they were eating 2 meals a day, and they were only eating in a 6 to 8 hour window each day. And so, but the funny thing is, no one said I'm doing intermittent fasting. It's just what they did. And so that's when I started learning about intermittent fasting. And then I lost 30 pounds, and I've been able to keep that weight off and still be able to, like, I just ordered a burger for lunch.
The window's open. That what we like to call it around here. That window is open.
Yes, my window is open. Absolutely.
Awesome. So your real estate, I know you did quite a bit of volume. We didn't mention this in the beginning, but tell me a little bit about what your transactions that your team does.
I want to tell you something real quick, because if anyone's interested in doing intermittent fasting, I want them to go to the fastingresetsummit.com, and we have literally 42 people. It's free. It's an online expert talks for 4 days, and it's everybody that's anybody about fasting. And Dr. Mercola, Dr. Will Cole, Cynthia Thurlow. I mean, these are big names.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, really big names. And I am an intermittent fasting expert, and I still learn something. From every person, I learn new nuggets. So it's like, if you're like, well, yeah, I understand, I know fasting. It's so much amazing content, and it's free. So definitely go to fastingresetsummit.com and just register, and it's going to be great.
Awesome. And I think that's coming up in January, if I saw it correctly. January
21st. January 20th. And then, if they miss it after that, they can get all of the replays of it afterwards.
That's awesome. And I feel like we're so squirrel, because we have so many different questions for you. But I'm just curious, are you having good success with your summits and your events and stuff like that?
Yeah, we have almost 100,000 people who've signed up for this summit so far.
Wow.
Which is going to be awesome. Yeah. So this is probably the best lineup we've ever had, for a summit. But one of the things that I also started doing is I created another business, a marketing company, and it's called Simpronto. And
Will you spell that for people?
yeah, it's SIMPRONTO, like Simply Pronto, but it's just Simpronto, Simply Pronto.
Okay.
Love it.
And basically what that is if someone wants to start a podcast like you guys have, but they don't know where to start, and they want to have like an intro for them, or they just don't want to do it. Like they want to record it and then just hand it off, and then somebody else. Like one of the things that we do is the biggest thing we do is we help you get it out there. Because a lot of people are like, okay, well, I can record it, but you also need to distribute. And so a lot of people get so busy into content and creating content, but the difference is you also want to create the content, but now you need to distribute it. And so you need to post it on Facebook and, all the different platforms. And that takes time, posting it on YouTube and blasting it on these different places. And so we have a media and production team that are amazing, and they will kind of fulfill the vision of your podcast and really get your message out there to people. So we do video production, podcast production, YouTube management, all of that.
Awesome. So I know you can't do all these things because we all only got given 24 hours, right? God didn't give you 36 and me and Dana 24, or our audience, 24. So you must be doing this through great people. Kind of tell me about when that switched for you to understand that you needed great people, and what's your thoughts behind leveraging through great people so that you can do all these amazing things?
Yeah. I was thinking about writing a book called Smart, Lazy. And that's what you want to do, is like, you want to go, I'm smart, but I don't have to do all of this. I can be lazy when it comes to doing all these different things. And I mean, I'm not gifted at doing all these things. So you want to find people and surround yourself with people who can do those things. And the people who have a hard time delegating really have a lot of pride issues, because they have pride issues and control issues, because they think I could do it better than them. That's pride, right? And then they have control issues because they say, okay, well, I need to control every little thing that happens. And if it doesn't turn out right, then they just say, forget it, I'm going to take it back and do it myself. Mm-hmm. And so that's when you have to go, it's not going to be perfect the first time you hand it off. The best analogy I can give is like, you give someone the cord, you pull it back just a little bit, then you give them some more cord. What happens is people go, here's the rope, and they throw it out there, and then they screw it up, and then you're like, forget it, I'm taking it back, I'm doing it myself. And the key is you have to have systems in place. And that goes back to, you have to know what I'm going to teach on this retreat is, what does winning look like? Every single employee you needs to know, what does winning look like? And that takes time. That takes time to develop, right? And so They need specific things, like they need job descriptions, they need action steps, they need to know how do I win at this position? And so that's why we just said, okay, we are going to develop this and start giving it to other people, so that they don't have to go through the hell that I've had to go through and developing it. And I've spent so much money on creating all these different processes. It takes time.
Yeah. And I'm really surprised, to be honest with you, that you're one of those unique people that can actually, you're entrepreneurial, but you can also do the systems. That's really kind of rare. Yeah. And so what I always tell people is, look, if you're not a systems person, hire people that are great systems people.
And I will tell you, I have a girl named Heather that works at my company, and that's what she does. So I cast the vision to her, and I say, here's what I want. We need a system for this, and this. And she's going to be at this retreat, and she's going to talk about how she developed it. So you could come and also bring somebody with you that's kind of that developer with you, and you can both be there. You can have the visionary with you, or you can just send them.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah, good idea. I love it. So where do you go to learn, Chantel?
So it's funny. My husband and I we're on vacation right now, and I don't really stop, but like yesterday, I think I listened to 9 podcasts, and he's like, you're the only person I know that listens to 9 podcasts in a day.
You just met your 2 sisters.
And I'm a huge podcast fanatic. I don't love to read. And so, that's why I developed my Waste Away podcast that I have. I have 2 podcasts. I have a leadership podcast now. I have a podcast called Real Life Leaders. And we've got this guy coming up. You guys all have to subscribe. I've got the most amazing guests on this show. But this guy, there's a book called Profit First.
He's going to be on ours on January 30th. I love Mike. We've become good friends because he spoke at a couple events. We've gone to dinner. You're going to love Mike. He's amazing.
Yeah. And he's just hilarious.
He's funny.
That's why we were so excited to have our listeners hear him, because he's just real and he's hilarious and he's a genius.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to have him. He's going to be on at the end of this month. And we just keep getting different guests coming on the show all the time, and that are just getting better and better. So that's the big one.
What's that podcast again? Real Life Leaders?
It's called Real Life Leaders.
Okay, great.
Actually, I think it's either Real Life Leaders or Real Life Leadership.
Okay, got it.
And then what are your other 2?
My other 2, one's called Waste Away, WAIST AWAY, and then it's all about intermittent fasting and just health in general. And then I have another one that's all about fasting. It's intermittent fasting, but also some extended fasting, and that's called the Fasting Reset podcast. So that's another one.
Yeah, I always listen to your Waste
But
Away.
I'm just a real fan of podcasts. I just love them.
Yeah, they're great. So what's your favorite top 2 podcasts that you listen to of those 9?
The one that I love the best is I love the Craig Groeschel Leadership Podcast. Have you listened to that one?
He's my favorite. Yeah, I've actually got to meet Craig several times, and his podcast is fantastic. He's just an amazing human being in general, but yes, he has the best one.
Yes. So I would say his is my favorite. I also love the Entree Leadership Podcast by Dave Ramsey. Yeah. That's another good one. And I also like Andy Stanley has a leadership podcast that is good. So I would say those are probably my top 3.
Awesome. So similar. Mine are the same. I love Andy's too.
Awesome. Of all the things that you do, what are which of the stuff you do gives you the most energy and excites you the most when you get up every day and get to do it?
I think it is honestly the weight loss stuff that I do, and just really helping teach people. So, I love doing the weight loss stuff because I feel like I've just had it kind of was like, I finally found the secret sauce, and so that is a big deal for me. And then I would say the other thing is I'm really starting to, I need to get you guys on my if you go to millionairerealestatesummit.com, that's a new summit that I'm doing, and it's going to be February 10th through 13th, and it's going to have the top real estate brokers and real estate agents that are telling all their secrets about lead conversion and lead capture. So lead generation and lead conversion. And these are from millionaire real estate agents, and it's going to be amazing. So I'd love to have you guys be on that summit. If you'd like to, we need to get you on right away. Would you like to do that?
You got it. We'll do it for you. Absolutely. So we're about out of time. Dana, is there any last questions that you just have burning to ask Chantel?
Oh, gosh.
It goes so fast because we could ask you a million questions that we're interested in.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so this has been one that we asked Jeff Cohn, and I just think is a great question, and we can kind of end on this. But so to get to your level in your real estate business and in everything else that you've done too, you have surely bumped up against some ceilings. So what do you do to break through when you hit a ceiling?
Yeah, I think that the very first thing that I do is I have a couple of people that I sit down and I meet with, that I brainstorm, that are at a higher level than me. And so I try to get on the phone with them and say, here's my struggle. What do I need to do? So I get on the phone with them, get some brainstorm. Number 2, I fast, because one of the things that people need to realize is, what I say is that fasting is like scuba diving. So like, I live in Virginia Beach. I'm telling you, our water is brown as can be, and you can't see a darn thing. As soon as I start fasting, it's like I put scuba gear on, and now all of a sudden I can see the color of the fish, and I can see the color of the coral, and everything starts coming to life. And that's what fasting does. So I would consider doing that. And then number 3, whatever the challenge is, I listen to a podcast or read a book on that particular thing. So like, profit for us, our sales have been going up. But this last year, our profit was not as high as the year before. And we just kept, like I told you, we just were hiring more web developers and, just hiring more people to build these systems. And so our profit was down. And so what did I do? I was like, I went on the internet and was like, okay, let me find a book on profit. So I found Profit First and started implementing some of those strategies. So the minute that I'm coming up against something, I immediately go to that kind of core group of people that I can go to. And everyone needs that. If you don't have it, you need to find it. You need to find a couple people above you, a couple people below you, to kind of brainstorm and have those kind of calls. And then the second piece is just going, what's my struggle? Let's find a podcast or a book on someone who can teach me how to do it.
Yeah, that's great.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chantel. I appreciate it. And again, your fasting retreat and your real estate thing, mention them one more time so that everybody knows when they are and how they can find out.
So they can go to the fastingresetsummit.com, and that's January 21st through the 24th. And then we have the Millionaire Real Estate Summit coming up, and that's February 10th through the 13th.
Awesome. Well, Chantel, we want to say thank you. We know you're on vacation in Hawaii.
Yes.
And we're very envious that you're sitting by the pool in your cabana. We wish we were there with you, but we're going to go back to work now because we got another big retreat. We had our top 100 agent retreat today. And tomorrow we're going to be doing some more leadership stuff. So thank you so much. We're going to continue to follow you. We're going to encourage our people to follow you. And I just want to remind you, if you have any interest in what kind of topics you'd like or guests you'd like for us to have on the podcast, reach out to us at info@lindamckissick.com. We'd love to have what your topics and questions and struggles that you may be dealing with. Or if you've got a situation or a challenge that you'd like Dana and I to help you with, then be sure and give us as much detail as you can about your business and where you are. Or you can reach out to us on Instagram at Everything Life and Real Estate. And I want to say, Dana, I'm getting to see you here this week, but we'll talk again next week.
That sounds good. Thank you, Chantel. Have a great time.
Thank you guys so much. Bye-bye.
Chantel, thank you. We appreciate it.
Be sure to subscribe for more business strategies and tactics to inspire you to live an abundant real estate life. Don't forget to rate and review so we can bring you the best content. Find this and other valuable information at everythinglifeandrealestate.com.